Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Sacred Womb podcast, where we talk about all things to do with befriending our menstrual cycle, deeply healing both our feminine and masculine aspects, and how we can indeed utilise our cyclical nature as a natural spiritual pathway that's encoded within our bodies. I'm your host, Melanie Swan, and you can also go to thesacredwomb.com for more information and loads of fantastic free resources. Hey. Very warm welcome back to the Sacred Womb podcast. I do hope you enjoyed last time's episode with Kathy Skipper. I'm still digesting it. I'm waiting for my yerba mansa to arrive and start working with that. And what I wanted to say this episode was I would love some more feedback from you. Some of you email me anyway and tell me how this stuff lands and that it changes your life and you implement it and it brings things that you never thought were there. But yeah, I love hearing about that. It really helps fuel me to do more podcasts and get the work out there more and more and increase my reach with this. I'm going to be doing guest posts and some talks and some in-person workshops as well. So yeah, I just love the way this work expands naturally and grows. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And you can do that. You can post in the Sacred Womb private Facebook group, or you can leave a review in your iTunes app. An Apple Podcasts app. That would be really, really awesome if you could do that. It really helps other women when they're searching for a podcast, see that other women are listening and that this stuff works. That's really the main thing. Like, does it work? I question the work all the time. Does it work? Is it practical? Is it doable? Can I implement it? Whether I'm working this job or I'm working a mum job, or I'm just does it work? For a variety of life scenarios that can be really implemented in a way that's practical. I like the practical stuff. So please do leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I think you can listen on Google Podcasts now. So anywhere you can leave a review, I would really, really appreciate it. Yeah. And I thought I'd do a cycle check-in before I talk today on deepening the process of menstruation. So I'm day 30 today, and wow, I don't normally go that long in my cycle, but last time I bled, I didn't rest as much as I usually do because I opened the Red Temple, and it was totally the right time to open the Red Temple. We just closed year 1 and year 2 of the Moon Lodge on the Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So it was a real time of transition and an eclipse. So not resting resulted in me having less energy this cycle. And yeah, I felt good, but I could also feel like, okay, it's really important to rest fully next cycle. And so I think that's why my cycle is a bit later, because I haven't felt as resourced this cycle. And of course, if there's increased stress and tiredness, then that has an effect on the adrenals. And my cycles are very sensitive to that. So my body gives me great feedback on, okay, Mel, you can push it a bit. And you pushed it a bit last time, no problem. But this time, rest and rejuvenate. So I'm flying to England tomorrow, which I can't, I'm so looking forward to coming home for 3 weeks. I'm having my hair cut. I think I told you all this last episode anyway. So I'm coming home tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you, meeting up with some of you as well. So, yeah, I'm going to fly, drop in, and I'm due to bleed any time. But I know I spot for a couple of days. My womb gives me a couple of days to prep like that. So I've got a couple of days leeway, and then I'm so happy I can just pour my blood into English soil. I know the earth is one. I feel Gaia. I feel the moon. I feel the oneness sometimes. However, I still want to pour my blood into my home soil. It really means a lot to me. So I'm going to stop talking about that now because I'm going to have to turn the mic off and have a good cry, I think, after this episode, because the relief at coming back home sometimes is awesome. Germany isn't the easiest place for me to be, but it's a place I've chosen to be for now. But what it does really help do is focus. There is no spiritual bullshit here, none whatsoever. Germany will not put up with that. So I spent the last 3 years developing this work with literally no distractions. It's like I'm on retreat. And just the energy of Germany and how Bavaria is in particular, no bullshit, no small talk, no fluff, just get on with it. And, it's it's helped me be super clear, super focused. And however, I do like to come home sometimes and see lots of friends and have that variety, because that's also very important. So today, let's look at what we've got. So deepening the process of menstruation. I originally wrote this as a blog post. I brought it out a few months ago, but I feel I want to talk about it. I can add more and have a little creative challenge at the end for you, because ultimately our cycle brings us into our creative nature and we hold that potential within us. So stay tuned till the end. I have a little treat for you. And yeah, I'd love to know how this lands. Let me know in the Sacred Womb private Facebook group. Leave a review. I'm welcome to receive emails as well. But it'd be great if you could put those out publicly. All right, ladies. So let's get into it. Deepening the process of menstruation. So I'm going to begin this podcast the way we begin with the medicine bundles and the Moon Medicine Woman training. We're going to begin by setting the scene with a totem spirit. And our totem spirit today is Black Panther. So Black Panther is a totem spirit that holds the medicine, that embodies the medicine of embracing the unknown. So I invite you to get comfortable, close your eyes, hands on womb, and listen to a little poem about Black Panther from the Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. O midnight jaguar, wash me with your courage and steal me with your grace, so I may know the value of the void of time and space. Teach me all your lessons, how to face the dark unknown, then let me bravely leap into the shadows, all alone. So Black Panther holds this medicine of embracing the unknown. And Western society tends to cling to patterns, expecting each cycle to be the same, or each phase of the cycle to be neatly the same. This is a way of neutralizing or diluting the unknown. The whole point of our menstrual cycle is that it's our natural spiritual path. What is our spiritual path here to do? It's to bring us into wholeness. It's to bring all of us, all of the parts of ourselves, into the body and into the present moment so that we can experience reality as it is. So, our menstrual cycle is this natural spiritual path within us. And it's going to help us heal. It's going to help us come to wholeness. It's going to help us get to know lots of different parts of ourselves and layers. And it is also here to bring us into the present moment, into our bodies. So if we have expectations of how it's meant to be, we've already stopped the process of spontaneous experience. Sure, we can say, okay, we have different phases of our cycles, but no summer is the same, no winter is the same, no transition is the same. So if we can switch our focus from this is my cycle and this is my day, this is my phase, so I should be feeling like that. It's bollocks. Actually, balls are lovely. I shouldn't say that. It's crap. It's just to fix our cycle takes its magic away. If every day we can be curious, meet our womb with curiosity, our body with an openness, then we allow our cycle to take us on this beautiful adventure that sure has patterns. However, if we take our agenda off, our womb, this cycle that works through us, then we're going to be delighted. Then we're going to go places that we didn't even know were within us, beyond us, around us. And our cycle, our womb, the womb consciousness that is within us, for our womb does have a consciousness, can start to teach us. But if we're to be taught and guided by it, we need to have an open ear, an open mind, an open heart to the fact that we don't know what the hell is coming. We just don't know what is coming. At the same time, we also have an idea of the patterns. So, for example, like I was saying, we can plan for time out at moon time. I planned for day 1920 to do less because I know I need the space. And if I don't, I get really pissed. I know I need to provide things for myself at different times in my cycle for the process to unfold, but I don't know what process is going to unfold. One of the beautiful surprises for me has been on day 4 to 6 to 7, a beautiful maiden, an essence that is innocent, white, fresh, untouched, pure, emerges. And every cycle, I work with that aspect of myself in a slightly different way because that part of myself is growing and evolving. And if I say that part of my cycle is about this, this, and that, and I could be feeling this, this, and this, then boom, I've put an agenda on myself. Personally, I hate feeling someone's agenda on me. I can feel the energy. I can feel the projection coming towards me. Why would I do that to myself? So moontime conditioning, even from books, even from ourselves, even from our friends, not necessarily what we might call the negative conditioning that we've subjected each other to over centuries. We're now waking up to, collectively, to the power of our cycle. But we need to be careful. We need to be really careful that we don't cling to patterns and expect our cycle to be a certain way. Because as women, we tend to have this thing of, well, if I have a perfect cycle, so I would like to invite you to really put your hands on your womb here, close your eyes and see if this is relevant to you. Some sort of core belief that if I have the perfect cycle, I'm a woman. That makes me like an empowered woman somehow, and then I'll be loved. And this is what is at the bottom of most driven coping mechanisms, is I hope to be loved in some way, so I'm going to do this. I don't want to be hurt, so I'm going to do this. So I understand that there's a general trend, and I've had it before, about having a perfect this or that, and that will get me this, or then I will feel worthy, then I will feel included, then I'll feel part of something. Whatever your cycle is, I want you to know, whatever your cycle is it's teaching you something, it's trying to communicate something, and no message from the womb is wrong. None of it's wrong. It's our judgments that take it off. So however your cycle is, if your cycle's missing, if your cycle's long, if your cycle's short, if it's this or that, you are not dysfunctional. You are not doing it wrong. However, the womb may be communicating something and will be communicating something. And if we're on this path, it's our job to listen to that and be guided by that and to adjust our lives and to nourish ourselves as we need. When we treat our cycle that way, it's like an adventure into the unknown, guided by this creative force that's beyond. And life starts to get magical. So, every woman is different. Every cycle is different. Every moon time is different. And then this opens up our time of bleeding as well, to be creative and spontaneous. We really can't allow the process of menstruation and waking up to it to become some sort of bloody tyrant where we exert pressure on how it should be. These are projections from an old, dying, conditioned mindset. So what we're doing is we're meeting this womb consciousness with an old, conditioned mindset. And relax. Relax is one of the most actual difficult things I experience and see among women in the groups I run. To relax. To relax is a dynamic attribute of a mind that's preparing for change. Relax is a dynamic attribute of a mind that is preparing to change. We can relax our bodies, we can go to the sauna, we can go for a massage, we can do all those sorts of things. Our minds might relax a little. But to actually relax the pressure that we exert on ourselves of how our cycle and our life should be is a dynamic attribute. Because change is inevitable. Because the whole universe runs on this principle. So if we can actually relax and accept that, bit by bit by bit, doesn't have to be, I am relaxing now, because it doesn't just happen like that. But if we can just know this, and then try to meet each cycle with curiosity, track our cycles in a joyful way. It has to be joyful. There has to be joy in it. That's our motivation in life. It's joy at the end of the day. If we can do that, our cycle will be magical. Our womb will guide and teach us. So that's where Black Panther can help. I work with totem spirits, spirit guides, and Black Panther is one of the ones I work with to help me really look in and face the unknown and stand up with a straight spine and take a deep breath and go, well, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's coming and what's happening, but please let it be beyond my own consciousness, my own imagination, because I know then change is happening, spirit's involved, my womb is involved, and whatever is not a match for that in my psyche will get squeezed out and it will dissolve gradually with each cycle if I let it. So facing the unknown really is one of the major keys of being and becoming a medicine woman, because our medicine emerges. We don't necessarily learn it. It emerges. And that's what we do in the online Moon Lodge. In the Moon Medicine Woman training, we set the container. And this is what you can do in your life. Just set up the container, the space, the heart space to remain curious, to wonder what's coming from the womb, to listen to the messages and follow that guidance. It doesn't have to be perfect. I certainly don't always follow my own womb's guidance, but let's just say most of the time, most of the messages, I do my best, and that works. So, I'd love to know how this lands. Please do post in the private Sacred Womb Facebook group. So a little treat. I said I got a little treat. Is it a little treat? Shall I call it that? Or I don't want to call it a challenge. I want to call it an invitation. That's my favourite word at the moment, invitation. So I'd invite you to embark upon a creative exercise, as small or as big scale as you like. I know that you have something that you'd like to do that's creative. It's our true nature. There'll be something that you want to do. Maybe you've always wanted to do it. Maybe you've had it on your mind for a few months, a few years, a few weeks. Is there something created you've wanted to try? Well, the time to start is now. It's literally all we have. I invite you to be bold, begin now as soon as this podcast finishes, and begin that journey of creativity with that spark of inspiration, because who knows where it will lead. And I would invite you to share it in the Sacred Womb private Facebook group. It might be that you want to share in there a commitment that you are going to start this creative project. It could be one painting. It could be painting a mug. It could be doing a bit of pottery. It could be going for a walk and doing a medicine walk. It could be small, big scale, anything you want. It's your creative process. What I want to let you know is that group is there. There's over 1,000 women in there now to connect with like womb-hearted women. And if you want to put it out there, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is my creative inspiration. I'm going to paint this, I'll do that. Then please do it. Please utilize that group and let us know. Tag me if you have any questions about this episode and I will respond. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And for day 30, I'm feeling very, very juicy. So this is new for me. This is new for me. A day 30 where I feel like speaking on the mic. I feel like doing stuff. I've got quite a lot of energy, given the fact that the rest of the cycle, I haven't had a great deal. What an interesting cycle. I wonder what's happening. Feel into my womb. My dreams are super vivid. And I'm going to spend time in Totnes, which is very dear to me. So, incidentally, actually, this is where the Sacred Womb website was developed. It was developed in Totnes with a dear friend. So, yeah, my voice is cracking up a bit. I'm trying to keep going with this, but you can probably hear I'm just starting to crack. Such good memories. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I look forward to hearing about your creative process, how this lands, impact of this episode in the group. And I will see you very soon. I really hope you enjoyed the podcast and that you got some useful tips out of it that can make a genuine difference in your daily life. And if you'd love to work deeper with this stuff, then do head on over to thesacredwomb.com, where you can sign up to receive the weekly newsletter and an invite to our private Facebook group, where you can share, learn and grow with like-minded women in a safe, supported space. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do leave us a rating and your comments are very, very welcome. And I'll see you next time.